Season is here. We don't want you to make any social blunders, so we have invited our etiquette expert, Kay Simonetta, with Manners for Life, to talk about that very thing. What do you think, Kay, is the #1 faux pas people make etiquette-wise when it comes to weddings?
I would have to say, without doubt, it would be not RSVPing or not RSVPing on time. We're really, really bad about it.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think we're so used to thinking that, I kind of mentioned in passing that I was coming so they know. But
right, and that's not the case. If you get an invitation to a wedding, your goal should be to be the first one to respond. Go ahead and look at your calendar, see if that date's available, fill out that response card, and send it back. Because there's a lot of planning that's going on the part of the bride and the wedding party, and they really need to know how many people are going to be there.
Speaking of how many people are going to be there, how do you know if you're invited to bring a guest?
If your invitation does not have Ms. Eden Kendall and guest or Ms. Eden Kendall +1, you are not supposed to bring a guest. And people get, they kind of feel a little entitled about this, and that's really not the case. If you are giving a party or a wedding, you get to invite who you want to. If you get an invitation, you get to decide whether to come or not. But as a guest, you do not get to decide if someone else comes with you or not. Now, there are some things that you want to take into consideration if you're the giving the wedding. One is you really want to make sure that everybody in the bridal party does get a +1 because they're attending a lot of parties, the rehearsal dinner and all of that, and you want to make sure that they're taken care of. And of course, any relatives and that type of thing. And then the other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're consistent. If you're in a circle of friends, don't let one of them have a +1 and not the other one. Mm-hmm. But I think most importantly, if you are a guest, do not assume that you have a +1 and don't call and ask. Because that guest list has been labored over, and the bridal party knows exactly how many people they can invite, and it's been a struggle. If you get a wedding invitation, you should be very honored. It's really, not everybody gets invited. Do
you need to send a gift if you're invited but you can't make it?
I think it's generally expected that you would. Of course, nobody can force you to send a gift, but if you're a good enough friend, a close enough friend or a relative that you've gotten an invitation, then presumably you're close to that bride and groom and you would want to send them something. So you really should send a little something.
So, okay, now let's talk about we are there. We are at the wedding. We've brought the appropriate amount of people with us. Are there some glaring mistakes that we make in this society at weddings?
I think probably the biggest thing there is taking pictures. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to take pictures, but as the bride is coming down the aisle and everybody's trying to get a look, you don't want to be the person who's out there blocking someone's view.
With an iPad, maybe.
With an iPad, or even with a big iPhone. You'll have plenty of time to take pictures, and that wedding party has hired a photographer or photographers to do all of that for them. So just enjoy that moment and be happy for them and watch the proceedings and then take your pictures later. And be really careful about posting on Facebook too, because you really don't know who got invited and who didn't, and you don't want to post something out there. Here we are with our 3 of 4 best friends at a wedding, and sorry, number 4, you didn't get invited. So be really, really mindful of that.
Those are some great tips, and if people weren't doing these things, we wouldn't be talking about it, right? That's always the case with etiquette. If you'd like to reach out to Kay or just learn some more about her web page, you can go to mannersforlife.net, but we will link it to you on rivercitylivetv.com as well. Kay, thank you so much.